all of these on the front. So we're going to do 2 problems together. Number 4, you can skip. You don't have to do number 4. All of them on the front all have to do with the same congruency statement. So this is the congruency statement. It says triangle PQR is congruent to triangle ABC. You're going to use that same statement for every single problem on the front. Okay. So we're going to do number 2 together. So when in doubt, we're going to draw it out. So I'm going to draw 2 little triangles. I'll just use the top space. Yeah, we're going to do number 2. Okay, so PQR, the other triangle, I'm going to just put it over here. You could realistically use the same triangles for every single problem because they're all the same triangles. So if you're in pencil, like writing in pencil, you could just erase the markings each time so you don't have to draw new triangles every time. But because I put P here, Q at the top, R at the bottom, the second triangle, like your IXL that you were supposed to do, should be A, B at top, C at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to do number 2. So number 2 says that angle R is 90 minus Y. So R is technically in the bottom. So it's talking about right here. So I'm going to put that in my picture. So 90 minus Y. Just going to squeeze it in there. Then it tells me if I go straight across, it says P to R is 3x plus Y minus 1. So I'm just putting all the stuff in the picture. Angle C is 13 degrees. Those ones are inside the triangle, not because there's not a lot of space. They're inside the triangle because they're angles, so they have to go inside. These ones are side lengths, so that's why they're on the outside. So A to C is 32 minus X. So congruent means equal. So we're looking for equal parts. We're going to have 2 separate equations. Does anybody know one of the equations? No.
3x plus y minus 1 equals 32 minus 1?
Yes. Okay, what's going to be the other equation? Okay, so we know that this equals this because this makes sense. The bottom should equal to the bottom. That makes sense. 90 minus y equals 13. Yeah, well, no. If you don't finish, you can turn it in on Monday. That's fine. I'll walk around and check on Monday. Okay, but this is technically an angle. Use common sense also. An angle cannot equal to a side. An angle has to equal to an angle. They're both in the bottom right corner. They're equal. These are both the bases. They're equal. They're both a length. What is going on over there? Okay, anyways, we have 2 equations. Can I solve this one? Can I solve this one right away? No. Why? It has an X and a Y. I cannot solve X and Y because I don't know X and I don't know Y. So I have to do this one specifically. Normally when we have X's and Y's, we look for X first. We can't solve X first. We have to solve Y first. So although the X thing works normally, this one I cannot. So I'm going to minus 90 to both sides. What's 13 minus 90? Negative 77. And then I can't leave Y negative. So what do I have to divide by? Negative 1. And so technically Y equals 77, which is massive, which is okay. Okay. So now that we have 77, we are going to take that and we're going to substitute it into the other equation because I know Y is 77. So I can bring down 3x plus 77 minus 1 equals 32 minus X. So now I have all X's, so that's good. So if I combine 77 minus 1, what do I bring down? 76. And now you can solve it 4 different ways. Does anybody have a preference on what we move first? The 76, sure, let's move the 76. So I'm going to subtract 76. You could move the 32 or the 76, either way. So I have 3x equals 32 minus 76. I'm at the calculator. Negative what? 44. And now this looks like weird, but it's fine. Now what do we do? Add x. So 4x equals negative 44. So what's x equal? Negative 11. Okay. So you're basically just need to figure out what piece should equal to what piece. You can use the same picture every single time if you want. Just, I would erase this or just draw a new picture. It's okay. You're using the same triangles though. You could skip number 4. If you did not fix it the first time, number 6, you have 2 things you need to fix. There should be y's on number 6. This should be a y. This should be a y. So change it to a y. And then we're going to do one more problem on the back. So on the back, if you look, there are 2 graphs. We're going to do number, what number is it? Number 7. We're going to do number 7. That way you have an example. So that way you can do number 8. So number 7 gives you a bunch of coordinate points. It tells you that you have, it says consider 2 triangles, EFG and HIJ. Notice it did not tell me they are congruent. Okay. They don't tell me there's a little triangle with the congruency symbol. With vertices EFG, HIJ, draw each triangle, and we have to state the corresponding congruent parts for the 2 triangles. So we need to figure out, does E actually go with H? Does F actually go with I, or G and J? Because I'm telling you now, they are scrambled. This is not the order they're supposed to be in. So we basically just need to match it, and then we can write our congruency statement. So take a second. The graphs are a little ugly. We're going to plot the points. So E is right in the center at 0, 0. F is 3, 1. G is 4, negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. J. Okay. So you should have something like that. Just take a second and finish plotting your points. So we have to figure out which angle actually matches with which angle. Because once we know the angles, which matches, or the size, which size match, then you can write the congruency statement. So if I say, let's start with just angle 8, or let's do F, angle F, because why not? So if I choose angle F from this triangle over here, what angle does that match with on the other triangle? No, it's not I. It's H. So this one's a little tricky because it almost looks like it's an isosceles triangle, but it's actually kind of like rotating around. The one you're going to have to do is a right triangle, so you'll easily be able to tell. Let's do angle G. What does G match with? J. And then E, angle E is going to match with what? Angle I. So once you know which angles are congruent, then you can just write your congruency statement, which means if I say triangle FGE, I'll just go in order. FGE, how we wrote it for the angles. What order would the other letters also have to go in? H, J, I. So you have to basically just match your sides. But this one's a little tricky because it looks like, almost like it's an isosceles triangle. The other one's a right triangle, so you'll be able to tell like where it's going. 9 and 10, just so you know, are decimals. You get like 0.5. So 9 and 10, if you want to put a little, just a star next to it, just so you know it's a decimal, but it's like a nice decimal. But they're not bad. They're not terrible. When in doubt, you should draw it out. Other than that, that's it for today because it's Friday. Friday. Okay. Let me know if you get stuck. I'm going to come around and look for your paper from yesterday because I did not check that earlier.
yesterday.
I mean like Wednesday, number 57.
I put